You are not being told the truth. You're not being told the truth about the stock market. You're not being told the truth about the tariffs. You're definitely not being told the truth about the Iran-Israel war. And you're not being told the truth about what's going on with the national debt. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that these people really don't want you to know what's going on. Why not? Well, for the simple reason is they have an axe to grind. They have their own agenda. Okay, let's think about for a second about the stock market, right? So you're listening to Bloomberg, and you're listening to all these outlets, right? The outlets such as CNBC, NBC, Bloomberg. Who are they accountable for? To, not to you, right? They're not like me. I'm trying to connect with you and have you join my channel. I am not. Hey, Absubabi, how you doing? I am not here to sell you anything. When you're listening to the news, when you're listening to any other outfit, what's going on there? You're not being told the truth. Hey, Lizzie, they're not lying to you, okay? But what they're not doing is they're not telling you exactly what you need to know. Join this channel if you want to understand what's happening, if you want to know the risk in the stock market, if you want to know the risk in the economy and how it will impact your lives, because I realize that, you're not being told what's going on. You are not being told what's going on. Why? Well, because let's take a case in point. Even if you look at the Wall Street Journal, the information that is contained in the Wall Street Journal is correct, except that they're showing you one part of what is correct, not the entire piece. And unfortunately, they bias away from Trump. And if you look at Fox, they bias towards Trump. So you're caught between all these conflicting sources of information, and you're trying to figure out, and what do you think people are on social media? They're on social media because they want to know, I need to talk to a real person. These people are not talking to me, they're talking to the advertisers, right? If you're Bloomberg, you're not going to say too many good things about Trump. Why? At the end of the day, Bloomberg himself, the president of the company, wanted to be a Democrat. He wanted to run for presidency. It was a disaster, but he wanted to run for the Democrats. So you're not getting the news here. Okay, well, where do I get the news? Well, that's why do you think places such the alternative media such as YouTube and X, came up? Why do you think, right? Take a look like a guy like Elon Musk, right? He went out there and he basically said, "This is great. So I have my channel, and then the president wants me, and he wants to save money. Wow, this is exactly what I was trying to do. Yeah, let's do something together." Until he realized that no, 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 no. We're not there to create that much trouble, because that's too much trouble. So he was taken out, right? He was taken out and he was asked, "Thank you very much. Go and play somewhere else." And he knows it. He was in the middle of the things. He said a lot of different things, the thing about Epstein and all that. I don't know if it's true or not true. But the point is, when it comes to actual information, it is tough to get by. Well, take the Israel-Iran war. Okay, what happened there? Well, they told us that basically what's happening is Iran is building a bomb, and he's going to take the bomb. He's going to destroy Israel. Wait, hold on. So Israel doesn't do anything? Israel just sit there and wait for it to happen? No, that's why they're bombing it. No, but before that, before they went, what do you think happened? This channel is about that. This channel is about explaining to you what is going on. This channel is about explaining to you what's going on and telling you what is really the risk that you're not seeing, the risk that you're not seeing. I want my subscribers to understand the risks that are involved in the stock market, for example. Why? Well, because they're not telling you what the risk involved. These people do not tell you what's involved in the stock market. No, they don't. They tell you about this, about that, but they do not tell you the risks involved in the stock market. The Wall Street Journal will give you a bunch of news. The Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, they will give you a bunch of news, but they will not tell you exactly how much risk is involved. Is there a number? Are they giving you a number? Are they giving you a number in terms of the amount of risk that's involved in the stock market? No, you're not. They're not giving you. So what's happening is that you are not being told what's going on. You are being told more or less what they want you to hear. Okay. So I want you to subscribe to this channel, because what I want happening is I want to make sure you understand what are the risks involved in the market and the economy. And this is what this channel is about. Join this channel if you want to understand the risk in the stock market, the economy, because it will impact you. Join this channel and my Patreon channel, obviously, if you want to know what is going on in everything that we're doing, because frankly, there's a lot of situation going on, and you're not fully abreast of all of the activities that are going underneath, right? When you hear news, right, like Trump is doing something, it doesn't really mean that he's doing these things that he's doing, right? There's always, you need to find out what's really going on. You need to understand that they are playing chess, not checkers. They're playing several steps ahead. So join this channel in order to be able to understand the risk. Every day I come to you and I explain everything that's going on. I tell you exactly what you need to know based on the information that I'm gathering, the tariffs and the war and the stock market and all these things. I have views on these things, and it's important for you to understand them, because you need to understand the risk component of all of these. They're giving you the news, but they're not giving you the risk component. How risky is this situation? And the way to make money in the stock market is that you make money in the stock market by understanding the risk. If you don't understand the risk of anything, then what are you going to do? Right? So join this channel in order for me to explain to you what's going on in the stock market. Join this channel to understand the tariffs, to understand the national debt, to understand what's going on with Israel and Iran, to understand that you should be investing in small company stocks. That's important, because that's how you're going to make money. Subscribers, that means you. I want my subscribers to be fully abreast of the risks of the tariffs, the risk of the stock market, the risk in the economy, the risk in the national debt. That's what I'm here for. I am here for my subscribers, so don't forget to subscribe and like this video, because I want you to be informed, not so much in terms of news, but informed about the risks, because this is not always obvious. Why not? Let me give you an example. When was the last time they showed you anything in the risk in the Wall Street Journal? Join this channel if you want me to tell you about the risks involved in the stock market, the risk involved in the economy, the risk involved in the tariffs. Why? Because it will impact your life. You will want to know what's going on in the stock market. You want to make money, right? So if you want to make money, then you got to make money in the stock market. Then right now what you should do, you should invest in small companies. Why? Because that's where the money is right now. Should you be worried about the Israel-Iran war? Yeah, you should be, because they're going to start Iran pretty soon. If Israel right now is bombing in the region, is bombing in Syria, right? So this thing is happening. Join this channel if you want to understand the stock market. Join this channel if you want to understand the risks involved in the economy. If you want to make money in the stock market, then join this channel. Why? Because I'm telling you right now, small companies. What do you think this whole thing about? This whole thing is about one thing and one thing only. They want to deliver information to you. As we are sweeping around and sweeping around, stop sweeping for a second and learn something today. What do you want to learn today? Let me give you a few things you should learn. First of all, get involved in small company stock, because I'm here for my subscribers. I want my subscribers to understand what's happening. I want my subscribers to know how to make money. I want my subscribers to really understand what's happening. So join this channel and my Patreon channel, which is free, in order for you to get what's going on in the world and get the risks involved in the stock market and in the world. Right now, for example, you should be invested in small company stocks because they've been underperforming everything.